banned him. It was racist hack material. He was basically one of those white guys who, well, why can't we say the N-word while actually saying it? It was based like, the problem for me isn't just that it's racist. Of course, that is problematic for me, but also that it's hack material. It's stuff I was telling you before the show. It's stuff a 6th grade bully would look over and go, "No, I'm not going to do this. This material is crap." Mm-hmm. So he has been spewing crap racist jokes on Twitter for I don't know how long, and then decided to start picking on David Hogg, one of the Parkland kids. This apparently was the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of people, and his tweets to Hogg were like, "Oh, why don't you shut up until you grow some pubes? College is gay anyway, so have fun going to your gay college." Like, really? This is, I've booked shows.
Yeah.
And
wouldn't book him?
when
you wouldn't book him?
Not based on his Twitter feed. and therein lies the issue with Owen Benjamin. He, after getting banned from Twitter, went on to Facebook and started crying about how his livelihood was being taken away from him. He was being censored by Twitter, and we're going to get into the semantics of that word, censored, because Twitter can't censor you, technically. Right. But whining, "I have a 2-year-old child and my wife is pregnant, and how dare they take away my means to a livelihood." And a lot of conservatives are backing him up. This is the liberal snowflakes overreacting once again in their mind. Mm-hmm. The thing is, and here's where we get into the semantics of censorship. People are, his First Amendment rights are being taken away. No, they aren't. He is still free to speak wherever he is allowed and say whatever the hell he wants. There are limitations. The old adage, you can't scream fire in a crowded theater. But as a business, and I guess this even applies to the crowded theater portion, Twitter has the right to say, yeah, not in our house. Just like if, he wanted, because I was saying earlier, when you book a show and a comedian who you don't know says, "Hey, I would love to do your show," you ask them, "Hey, do you have any clips, videos, something I can see?" And while you're waiting for them to send something, you check out their Twitter, you check out their Facebook, see what kind of stuff they're posting. Also to see, is this the kind of person that promotes shows that they get booked on? Because a lot of people don't. So if I were just looking at his Twitter feed, there's no way in hell I would book him unless for some odd reason the Klan contacted me and said, "Hey, we understand you book comedy shows. We're looking for someone for our cross burning rally this Saturday night. Yeah, do you have anyone in mind?" I go, let me see if Owen Benjamin is available. Right. Other than that, I don't see the guy getting booked off his Twitter feed. So if people are booking you based on that, that's a problem with comedy in general, I think. Well, yeah. I mean, there is an audience for everything. People would go see Gigi Allen, who, I know you're giving me the look, and I know, music dork. He was a hardcore punk guy who would do stuff like, jam a microphone up his gazone and smear his own waste all over himself and sing. Yeah. And for years, he, I don't know if threatened is really the right word. It's more promoted, but promoted the fact that he was going to kill himself on stage at a New Year's show. And I guess like 2 or 3 years running, it didn't happen. And then ultimately he died of an overdose. But the thing is, if you're booking a kid's birthday party, you're not going to book Gigi Allen. Oh. Yeah, somebody booked him. Yeah, there, like I said, there is an audience. It's.
How did they deal with the stench?
Some people. I had a friend whose band was opening up for him at one show, and apparently hey, can I borrow your microphone? And they're like, no, I don't think so.
That's a bit much.
But the thing is, he feels entitled. Right. To Twitter. And I'm sorry, the Constitution, while it does guarantee you a voice,
right,
it doesn't guarantee you a venue.
right.
And conservatives get all up in arms about, it's hurting his livelihood. We're seeing this also this week with Laura Ingraham, who, again, on Twitter, was poking fun at David Hogg from Parkland about, he had posted something, I rejected from 4 colleges that I applied to. And she basically did the very mature adult move of tweeting a link to the news story and commenting the equivalent of "in your face, Hogg," as a mature journalist would do.
Yeah.
And Hogg responded by calling for a boycott and listed her advertisers, like I think 12 at first.
Right. And
then Media Matters for America, who they monitor these conservative hate mongers, and said, it's not just those 12. Here's 100 more sponsors. Right. And people are getting upset because this is hurting her livelihood. This is going too far. And I think we've seen over our entire lifetimes, but especially over the last 10 years, with the power of conservative media, be it talk radio or cable news, the only way to hurt these people is by hitting them in the pocketbook.
Well, one, you don't argue with a 16-year-old. Okay, it's like when I'm at work dealing at juvenile hall, and I tell people, why would you argue with a 16-year-old at 4:30 in the morning? You're an idiot. You're an adult. Okay, you don't argue with a 16-year-old. Okay, if a kid, you go to his door to open, hey man, you got movement this morning, you got to go out. I refuse. Instead of trying to say, hey bro, man, you probably should go. No. My words are, I'm sorry I bothered you. Have a nice day. You leave the asshole in his room. You don't deal with six. So when you see this kid post something and he says, man, I didn't get in 4 colleges. Sorry to hear that. Leave him alone because he's America's darling right now. Don't touch this. It's hot. When they tell you, hey, don't touch that. It's hot. Those kids right now are a hot thing right now. Okay? And they were at the school when that guy got killed. This is a hot subject. You're a conservative. You're trying to get somebody, your producer should have told you, don't fuck with this. Okay? Let it go. No, I'm going to say no. No, you're not, because you're going to get your. And here we go. And you thought you were bigger than what it was. And hey, he's America's darling right now. And boom, you're done. Now you're losing sponsorship because they're going to say somebody's got to be the adult in the room. Who's it going to be? Obviously, it wasn't
not the adults.
Yeah, it was. And so the kid was more of an adult in the situation. He says, "Oh, you're going to dog me like that? Tell you what. Hey guys, let's get rid of this chick. Let's start messing. We'll talk to her sponsors. Boycott this place." Next thing you know, it happens. And that's all it took, because she thought that, and then, she messed with LeBron James. LeBron James is America's darling. Do not touch King James. Right now, there are certain subjects you don't touch. Black people, you do not touch.
Well, and especially not their hair.
Right.
A lot of white people learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
Don't even ask.
But do not mess with them on, you're being too sensitive, or someone put out, I just think, black people aren't working hard enough. Shouldn't say that in this country.
Oh, there was, I saw a thing, I don't remember if it was the Hollywood Reporter or it was one of the entertainment trades. Uh-huh. And some comedian posted, I don't know if it was the cover or if it was just a big splash page for the article, but it was the Black Panther artwork, and saying, well, can we really judge films by box office anymore? And the comment from the comedian who posted it is like, really, white people? This is like, you're going to take this achievement away from us now too?
Yeah. And I had a guy tell me, didn't like what I was posting. He said, "You're dividing the country." I said, "It's been divided. The wound is never healed because people don't want it to heal, because everything is sold on fear." And with all these these narcissistic sociopath people that we have, that are on, Twitter and they're on Facebook. I mean, we're going to have more of this. We're going to have more people getting into it over some of the stupidest things in the world. I mean, that's what happens.
Well, and of all the social media platforms that you were just listing, the one you neglected to mention was YouTube,
right,
which was in the news this week, and not for the reasons you might expect with Facebook being in the news and everything. But sisters are doing it for themselves. Finally, a female shooter.
Yeah, there you go.
So, hooray, feminism.
Yeah. Didn't kill anybody.
No.
She shot.
Yeah, and she even went to the range before.
Right.
I don't want to support conservative talk radio guys or any anti-feminist agenda.
Right.
But, and I say this as someone, who is in a minority group that gets shit on by the white folks from time to time when it's convenient. Don't give them material to work with.
Right.
It's as a Jewish guy, I had a roommate in college who at one point I told him, I'm like, Mark, you're the reason people hate us. It's like, do you have to really hit all of the Jewish stereotypes?
Right.
If you're going to be a dick, be your own dick. But much like the reason there are no network late night shows that are hosted by a woman. Well, we tried that with Joan Rivers and it didn't work. Oh, well, it's
right.
You got one shot. No pun intended. But ladies, if you're going to break into the mass shooting thing,
right,
send out your best. Be good at it. This is why the ladies aren't shooting,
right,
because they're not killing anyone. It's ineffective. This is why we need to make sure that all the crazy men have access to guns.
Well, she was white. Was
she? She was Persian.
Persian. Well, Persian. Wow. Luckily she didn't go in and blow herself up.
Speaking of stereotypes.
Yeah, there you go. But when you see someone that this is where we're going, she was upset saying that they took something from her. Her way they censored me, that came up, and told me that I cannot, they didn't like what I was putting up.
Her exercise videos were age restricted, I guess.
Yeah. And I don't know I never did go on there and look at but she did look like a very weird chick. I mean, she had a very weird look about her, and
but I'm not going to fault someone for their looks.
I'm not faulting her for her look, right. But I'm saying, but she looked weird. She looked like that. She looked like a strange person. Like she was off. You could tell.
No, I get it. I take public transportation. There are people you do profiling when someone gets on the bus wearing a cape and carrying some bottle in a bag.
Right.
You give them a little more attention just to see how the rest of this bus ride is going to go.
Does she work at YouTube?
No. But she had, I guess, a couple of YouTube channels, and she made videos for the platform and had enough subscribers that she was able to monetize her thing. So they, for whatever reasons, were restricting access to her videos by age, which I guess cut out a lot of reviewers. And
she was using it to make money.
Yes.
Okay.
So again, much like we were saying earlier with Laura Ingraham and with Owen Benjamin,
right?
She got upset because she was quote unquote being censored, that she felt entitled to their platform.
Right.
And sorry, you're not. No one is, you do have freedom of speech. No one is entitled to listen to you. No. Or is obligated, rather.
No.
You are not entitled to an audience. You are not entitled to a venue. Practically every restaurant and convenience store I've ever been in has a sign saying, "We reserve the right to